get into the show. And let's start off from the doorsteps of the FA because that's where all the action really has been this week. Now, first thing that happened this week was a document that emerged. Now, on speaking to a few football people, this was circulated to clubs and the stakeholders of Ghana football. Now, Pichichi, you have the letter in front of you.
Yes.
Please just do us the honors by reading the most essential parts of this letter.
Right.
I believe this is signed, not the new Edubiase petition, the actual FA letter. Yes, you can pull that out. In the meantime, you can text into the show 0549 986 996 0549 986 996. You can also get to me on Twitter. Get to me at Kojo Nketi. Use the hashtag SportsPanorama. Pichichi, please let's hear that letter.
All right, so it's a letter dated 24th June 2023, signed by the GFA General Secretary, Prosper Harrisonado Esquire. And it says the Executive Council conveys its compliments to the respected Congress of the Ghana Football Association. It has 3 points. One is legal basis. 2 is proposal for approval of GFA elections nomination fees. And then the 3 is proposal. So let me highlight the essential part, which is the point 2, talking about the nomination fees. Okay. Now, for the president, it's more like a table. So there is the position, 2019 election figures, new proposal, and then the reasons.
Thank you.
Now, for the president, it says 2019 election, there's 5,000 Ghana Citi there. And the new proposal is that it will be taken to 50,000 Ghana cedis.
Hold your thoughts there. So for listeners, this means that in 2019, when Ket contested the presidency with Nanaya Amponsa, George Free, the filing fee then for the presidency was 50 million. That's old Ghana cedis, 50 million. 5,000 Ghana cedis. I just asked 50 million. So 5,000 Ghana cedis. Now it's at 50,000 Ghana cedis.
So that's 900.
So that's 500 million old cedis.
Yes. Good. And percentage-wise, that's 900% increase.
Wow.
Yes. And Executive Council, 2019, the figure was 2,500. Now it's 15,000 Ghana cedi proposed. And let me go quickly to the reasons. Now the reason is this. Due to the current cost of administering GFA elections, logistics, transport, accommodation cost, etc. That's the reasons for these figures that the GFA is proposing, that when they get to Congress, they will deliberate on this and then approve or reject this at the KNUST 10th July.
Thank God they didn't mention Russia.
Talk about how the regional regional FAs in there.
Yes.
Regional FAs, how much are they supposed to pay?
For the RFA chairman, it moves from 2,500 to 10,000 Ghana cedis.
Okay.
And then for RFA members who want slots on the Executive Council, they were paying 2,500. Now it's 10,000 Ghana cedis. Now, if you want to be on your RFA Executive Council, you have to file a fee of 5,000 Ghana cedis now.
Wow.
For district chairman, theirs is 1,000 Ghana cedis. And then the district Executive Council is 500 Ghana cedis. And then if you're a female aspirant, you pay 50% of the fee.
Football has become expensive officially.
So there you have it now.
Okay.
A quick one, the RFA Executive Council is 2,000 Ghana cedis.
2,000 Ghana, not 2,500. Yeah. Okay, so that's well settled. My good friend, Coach Christopher Nimley, here. You have your documents in front of you today. Coach, I'm sure you've heard about this issue with the filing fees. I won't
get into it small. Or you come back
I won't come back to you. Hold on. Let's add the new Edubiase incident or the petition because it feeds right into this. So this letter also dropped just this evening.
Yes.
Where New Edubiase Football Club have raised some concerns with regards to a few issues concerning the FA. If you can just bring us up to speed on the key merits of the issues that they are raising.
Okay, so it's a 5-page document written by Alex Akume, executive or the CEO for New Edubiase United. He addresses this to the General Secretary of the GFA, that's Prosper Harrisonado, and attention or copy to the chairman of the Elections Committee. At the moment, I don't know who is that person because the mandate of the last committee has ended already. It says, dear sir, with the headline of election of GFA president at Ordinary Congress for the year 2023-2024 season. Now, point 3 highlights one key issue here, and it says that as stipulated in Article 32, Clause 2Q of the GFA statutes, the inclusion of the election of president in the agenda of an ordinary Congress is mandatory. And then it says, as a result, the upcoming ordinary Congress necessitates the inclusion of the presidential election as a compulsory item on the agenda, bearing in mind that any attempt to have the elections next year will have meant that you plan to stay beyond your term limit. Now, point 5 says that, unfortunately, the agenda sent to the clubs did not include the mandatory provision in the GFA statutes. That's what I quote earlier. So, in the release sent to the clubs for the upcoming Congress, the GFA has not captured the formation of the elections committee. And that's what the huge issue is, that if there's no elections committee, how will the elections be conducted this year?
Yeah. As of now, we should know where it will, proposals for where it would happen,
Exactly.
when it will happen, and then, like you're saying,
So the framework for the whole election.
I remember there was an integrity committee to run integrity checks on anybody who wanted to.
Vetting.
Yeah, virtually a vetting committee of some sort.
So
we don't have any of that now.
Yeah, let me raise final 2 points in the letter. It says, point C says, having gone through the agenda, we rather find that the Executive Council of the GFA proposed in item 12 of the agenda an approval of GFA elections nominations fee. And it's asking, on what basis are we going to discuss this matter when members do not even know when the GFA elections will be held? So that's the question they're asking there as well. And then when you go all the way to the point 18, it says, we have also been made aware of the GFA's deliberate attitude of A, coercing some members of the GFA to secretly, that's underlined and bolded as well, sign documents in order to postpone the GFA elections, which is arguably supposed to take place this year to a later date. B, coercing some members of the GFA to secretly sign documents giving the authority of the GFA Executive Council to amend Articles 31 and 32, and in particular Article 32 2Q of the GFA Statutes 2019. So that's some of the basis of the concerns raised by Alex Akume here, that one, they don't know the roadmap to form the new elections committee. Two, the GFA is secretly making some members sign documents to have the elections postponed. And also, the nominations fee has been released, but they don't know the roadmap for the elections. So what are they paying for?
Very, very interesting.
And then coercing members to change some parts of the statutes as well. You know, we talk about that mandate extension from 2 to 3. So also captured in the proposal, or not the proposal, the sort of consensus raised by Alex Akume to the GFA.
New Dibiase Football
Now,
Club.
My quick one on this before Coach comes in.
No, yes. Please go ahead.
Now, for me, I look at the sort of tactics deployed. Yes, let me use the word tactics deployed. And I think something is clear here. That it's either the current GFA is scared of the upcoming election, or
The FA that has overachieved.
This is
no,
elective.
because if you're not scared about something, I don't understand so many things that's ongoing here. Now, I look at the figures involved from 5,000 to 50,000. I was thinking about it. Okay, what could be the reasons aside the cost of the elections, which we don't even know? What's the budget for the whole elections? The last elections we did in 2019, I don't think that if we are buying ink and stapler and those things in 2019,
Ukraine war has
For 123 delegates, I suppose. Yeah. If
I mean, let's
in
let's-
4
I mean,
years.
of course, we have to put things.
900%.
We have to put things into context. You know,
things have gone up.
COVID,
this-
Russia, Ukraine, because the Russia-Ukraine war is just next door. So as next door neighbors to Russia and Ukraine, we have been affected.
I hear Russia. I hear no call Russia. I hear no call Ukraine.
no, you can't tell.
COVID,
Yes,
COVID.
COVID has made the cost of what? The ink and the stapler and the
supply.
Again, right?
Supply bottles.
Just to put this,
Move
just
to
to put this in
50.
perspective, I feel like, again, just before you even go on, if the FA is floating this document to the clubs, telling the clubs that fees for the election have been increased, it is only prudent that you tell the clubs how much is expected to be spent on the upcoming election in totality.
Exactly.
So everybody puts everything in perspective. Okay, so we know that we are spending 200,000 Ghana cedis, and that is why you need to pay 50,000. So I feel like, again, this has no legs. But go on, please.
So I was thinking of the pros and cons. And for the pros, for me, I don't buy the reasons given, the cost of
Election.
the elections. Because if it's just the cost of elections, I don't see why you need a 900% increase from the previous figures. Now, one, for the pros, I think that what the GFA may want to do is to cut the number of contestants. That's the pro.
Why? Why would they want to do that?
It makes sense to try and make sure that not many people contest in the elections, so that it will be a straightforward fight between the incumbent and then his opponent.
It's a democratic process.
Just a second. Many people filing to contest doesn't mean they will contest. Because you have to get a certain number of endorsements.
No,
yeah.
but we saw
You qualify. And
we
a
saw the
club
last.
cannot sign for more than one.
Or maybe because they've delayed the process, they don't want to delay it any further. So by increasing the amount you have to pay for the nomination form, it decreases
Kind of
the
like
number of
it's
people
a way of
they have
eliminating.
They have to go through the vetting process and it reduces the time.
If that
look
was
at
the
the-
thinking, we would already have a date for election.
You look at the last 2019 elections,
I'm just
5,000
thinking
Ghana
aloud.
citizens, and we had lawyer Amanda Clinton coming on board. There is George is it George Ankama?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also
come
coming
on.
on board. So I think that this is to
couple-
try and
But
cut
Charlie, you've mentioned him, pal.
one, to try and
Hey.
make to try and make the
know
figures
what,
a little
we'll-
higher,
we'll
so
keep
that
the stories in
people
the
will have
fridge.
second thoughts in trying to just file nominations. And so the smaller the number, the easier it is to just focus on your opponent in the elections.
Point made.
Two, I also think that the reason for this could be that maybe they want to fund a well
Organizing.
organized elections. So the more money you have, the higher chance you have of organizing elections well. And three, this elections is an elections for money to be spent. And so I think this is a strategy to try and make sure that anyone coming on board, his budget will be affected slightly. Because if you're already going to file with 50,000 Ghana cedis, meaning that your budget will slightly be hit, because we know what goes into the GFA elections.
Slightly?
We know what goes into the GFA elections, trying to bust your delegates, trying to feed them and all that. So if I raise the figures to this amount, automatically I hit your budget a little. So this will be the pros to try to raise this amount. Now I look at what this could mean, and for me, I think economically it doesn't make sense, because whoever pays these figures will try to get it back again when he wins the elections.
But 50,000 is peanuts.
Exactly.
It's peanuts.
Not to football people. Not to football people, especially when.
No, let's say you win the
No, but
GFA,
easy.
you become the GFA president.
Yeah.
I mean, 50,000 for GFA president, looking at the amount of money that's
But
budgeted for.
again, let's not restrict this just to the presidency. Don't forget that
The other
RFAs,
positions as well.
executive committee, all those have been significantly increased.
Yeah. And for me, once again, I look at the negatives as this. When the nomination fee is high, obviously the lobbying fees will also be high. The monies that will be needed to try and lobby people also go high. And so delegates will be richer. And it's tricky for Ghana football. Now, I look at the whole scenario and the reasons given and all that, and I feel that there's something not right somewhere. Oh, yes, there's something not right. And I'm surprised that the football clubs have not raised any concerns yet. I know some of them may be concerned about that. If they raise concerns, their clubs may be affected next season and all that. But see, the fact is the
culture of
fact.
silence in our
Yeah,
football.
there is. Have you heard anyone complain about these figures all week?
I think that what will be interesting is for us to be present at that Congress. There, I mean, I feel like when you are at a Congress, it's very hard for people to hide how they feel. But you go ahead, please. Just wrap up.
In summing up, the elections must happen this year. I've looked at how people feel about Keto Kraku, and I think that any, trick or any reason that they may give to make sure that this election doesn't happen this year will not hold. I've listened to several people, and I feel that for his own integrity, for his own image, they need to quickly amend the documents, make sure that the next Congress that they are going in Kumasi, they get the elections committee formed. For me, I think that he's favored to win the next elections. Personally, I think it's difficult for an incumbent president to lose his seat in Ghana. It's mostly difficult. For the various associations, even when you go down to the other disciplines, their presidents hardly lose their seats. He's in a comfortable lead, in my view. He's favorite. his favorite for me.
Fati.
You see, so for me, all this sort of issues and shenanigans are surprising because it started when he did that interview with Juliet Bewa, and he was asked whether there will be elections this year, and he was like, he doesn't know. That response clearly made me think, why would the president say he doesn't know when this is his final year? By now, he should be telling us that yes, he's sure.
Saying you don't know is like saying that you intend to stay beyond your mandate.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Which cannot happen.
It's
because
as simple as that.
after October,
He cannot carry himself
Exactly.
as president of Ghana Football Association. And
and for me, all the reasons that I've heard that they are going behind the scenes, signing documents and all that, I think that he needs to stop all that. For me, he's in a comfortable lead. I think that he has a chance to win the elections. He just needs to play fair and he'll get what he wants again, a second chance.
Coach,
no more.
filing fees.
Kashegbe ye shimi keboyo kakwekwe ohe shimi ji onyumole. What are you afraid of? You have overachieved. What are you afraid of? Come and tell me. Tell your people they should stop calling me.
But he said he said he wants election expenses have gone up.
You understand the song?
I do understand.
For those who don't understand the song,
Don't be afraid.
I can't believe you don't understand.
I am your Lord.
I am your Lord.
Charlie.
Your God.
Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid. Kashegbe ye shimi keboyo. I'll get. Kakwekwe ohe shimi jonyumole. Nkalala bawaje.
You need to explain.
But he sang the song.
Oh, the song.
Yes. Then the last thing he said was that he will end it here.
I could continue, but I'll end it there. Look, Nketia, in life, when you fear God and you know that your destiny is not in your hands, but there's the supreme God that controls even, look, the oxygen you breathe in.
Preach.
And the carbon dioxide you breathe out. Then you do things in a very circumspect way. Look, we should learn to be afraid, and we should learn to fear God. It is when you fear God, that is where you respect the system. You will do absolutely nothing to destroy the same mechanism that brought you to power. Look, I teach, I drink, I sleep chemistry.
Thank you.
One reason why I enjoy chemistry, especially the organic aspect of chemistry, is because of the mechanism that reveals how all the organic reactions occur. And if you understand what mechanism is all about, you dare not, I repeat, you dare not do anything to undo the stepwise process leading to the end of every mechanism. You have to allow it to flow. What are you afraid of if you have overachieved? Look, that should be one of the reasons why you should beat your chest with all humility and audacity and say, look, I'm growing from me. Why are no me? Because if you can exhibit gross level of nepotism, you'll be afraid to go for the elections. I repeat, if you can exhibit gross level of nepotism, you'll be afraid to go for the. If you could tell the whole country that you are coming in as FA president to create wealth for who? For all.
Wealth for all.
He sat in the chair where PGT is sitting, and I sat here that day when he said, under my administration, football will create wealth for everybody. But I am going to give a teaser today. I will mention certain names here, and I'll leave it like that. Next week, I will expose the first point, the first reason why the man cannot go for the election. Pichichi says he's in a comfortable lead. No monya tao shatawale lalami. Oh tashi o twati. Oh tashi o twati. Get. Oh tashi o tati. They know about twati o tan. No me etwin gbese. Lese onatumo leza kakpe keke. Aje leza ye here. Inani ojugba. Obanani. I'm telling you, you see.
Why are you?
Because at the end of the day, you need to see as the leader to ensure that our football get to where it has to get to. Look at the level of nepotism. David Alifo, Aminu Shadow, Henry Chum Asante,
Why are you mentioning?
Winifred Okreku, Mrs. Maudeku, Teresa Nelly Sleepy Mensa, Ibrahim Dose Adam, Michael Osekre, Prosper Harrison Ado, Daniel Yankee, Malik Mumuni, Sule Zampa, Haruna Seidu, Romeo Ricky Roy, Charlie Padiagbe rhyme Romeo Ricky Roy, Lakabo, Winfred Dormon, Jamel Marabi, Dr. Philemon Mensah, and Amma Brobe Williams.
Who are these
Next
people?
week, I will expose the level of nepotism of all these people and Ketukeku. These are people who have close ties with Ketukeku, and they are the people amassing wealth in our football. The position given to them by this Ketukeku man is the only reason why, or one of the fundamental reasons why he cannot go for the election. He
Why?
said what? From 5,000 to what? 50,000. From 5 million, from 50 million to 500 million Ghana City. Oh, the chairman of the normalization committee, what is his name?
Dr. Kofi Annan.
Dr. Kofi Annan, if you know your job, you saw the need to open up for football people like Ketu Kreku, like George Free, like Amanda. What's the name?
Amanda Clinton.
Clinton
Oh.
Esquire.
To come out to contest in an election process that, in my view, was very transparent, but I still don't understand why Wilfred Kweku Osepama was disqualified. But we have to live by it and move on. In Ketia, the man has overachieved. To the football people, this is just the beginning. When you go to Congress, tell the man, it is mandatory that at that Congress, the presidential election of the Ghana Football Association should be mandatory. It should be put forward. Where is the roadmap? Mr. President, where is, look, lawyer Prosper Harrison Ado, Esquire.
Your good friend.
You are you are one of the best legal brains. The last thing you will ever do is to tamper with rules or constitutional matters of football in this country. Me, I have seen the document that they've given to football people to sign. You see, when you do these things, it is the same people who call us and show the thing. It will be like a document.
And you Edubiase have stated this
yes,
in their letter.
Amekeba was signed, now postpone the election. To what? Your era ends as a president. If you want to continue, you need to seek re-election. That is the law. That is the rule. That is what the FA Constitution says. Seek re-election so that you'll be respected as such, so that you'll be given the necessary honor, the mandate to rule our football. We sit here, we will not accept another first round disgrace in Morocco. We will come there, pray, because it is becoming overly shambolic. It's unacceptable. It is unacceptable. And like I'm saying, for nepotism reason and so many other reasons, which I've always been telling people that as we get closer and closer to the elections, no more. I trust the football people. Now, football is made of, there is cash in football. And everybody should have access to that cash. Not a few people hijacking the system, manipulating the system to suit them. Look, for me, look, the people on the ESCO, we know the sort of things some of you said. we will play back some voices of certain prominent ESCO members when they were very vocal under Kwesi Nyantakyi's era. Things that were not even done in this way. You spoke your mind. Why have you gone quiet? Please, you are losing your respect and your integrity with the people of this country. Come out, because what is being experienced now is absolutely unprecedented. It's gangantua. It's legendary. Don't do that. I will not mention names concerning this, but next week, when I give the position, the role of how these people I've mentioned, how they are related to Keto Kreku and the role they have played and their current role in the Ghana football, then I'll hit that other one too as a teaser. Every week, I'm bringing out new teasers. And the football people, the delegates, those in charge of who will rule Ghana football for the next 4 years, won't panify. Common sense should prevail. This man is creating wealth for his people, his family members, his brothers, his sisters, his cousins, even his white man who controls his somehow the shipping. Look, the sort of revelation I will bring here next week.
They are alleged.
No, okay, for now they are alleged. That's what I'm using as a teaser. To next week, then I'll support with the document. Support when I give you, when I leave, I'll give you your copy.
Thank you.
I've already given copy to
Council.
Council. He has a copy.
Thank you.
No more. Take me to court.
Chicheni nyina. Nathan. Monumentally increased fees. No election date.
You have overachieved. You see, they've tested the waters. They've gone down. They've tested the waters. When you are sinking, obey down. Okay? Fale kelenya, fale kelenya. Fale kelenya, fale kelenya. Mokobinu kometo. Fale kelenya, mokobinu kometo.
By the fireside.
If the river or if the sea is taking you away, there's no tree or stone to hold. No more, you will sink. You will get drowned. In 3 days' time,
Nathan.
Look, I think Pichichi and Chris have said a lot. What I want to talk about, not necessarily about the elections and everything, but as I think about all these things that are happening in Ghana football, I always ask myself certain basic questions. Question number one, when we do all of these things, do we tell ourselves that this thing called football, we really want to do it? I don't know if you guys have been thinking about this, but I have been thinking about it. That this thing called football, do we really, really want to do it? Or we want to tell ourselves hey, Enoch, behave yourself in the text message. But what is the meaning of this?
Nathan, please go ahead.
So I keep asking myself, like, do we really, really want to do this? Where in the last 3 to 4 years, things have not just worked well. It's one national team getting thrown out of a competition, one national team falling short at the first hurdle, another national team not even qualifying at all. That's what I'm saying. Like, we got thrown out of a competition. A league finally ends, thank God, but we look at the prize money all over the place. Our clubs haven't done well on the continent for God knows how long. Our under-23s are going into a match of their lives. Not only them, but Ibrahim Tanko, because if this team doesn't qualify this evening, I don't think he has any business handling any national team. So I keep asking myself, this thing called football, are we sure we want to do it? Or because everybody's doing it, we are also, Because, Ben, we are really not acting like a serious football country. And my feelings towards Ghana football were further saddened. Not saddened per se, but there's a video that's flying around social of the deputy sports minister. What's his name?
Evans Bobie.
Yes, Evans Bobie, your namesake.
Yeah.
Talking about the things he saw in Morocco.
The things he's seen in
Yeah, the
Yeah,
things
he's there, he's
because
there,
he's still
he's
there. The things he has seen,
He has given up on us.
you know, to the extent that I don't know whether he said it in the tape, but some people are alleging he said that even the 5-1 that we lost, Charlie, was a bit of a merciful score. Be that as it may, you see, he's seeing that. And I'm sure he's asking himself, so what are we doing? Clearly, we are not doing anything.
So he's saying that what he has seen is in Morocco, Ghana is not ready for a trophy.
I'm happy. You see,
what he has seen in Morocco.
That
is a deputy
What
sportsman.
he has seen in
I'm
Morocco.
happy.
This is what he has seen in Morocco alone tells us that.
Seen
guys,
in Morocco.
and I'm happy. My soul. Do you know why? Because for
At
the
least
first
he's an
time,
honest man.
I'm coming. At least for the first time, it didn't come from us, as media people. Because there are some people, as soon as they hear media men say these things, they say we are bad.
Oh yeah, they say
we
it
are
always.
evil.
Always negative.
They say we are anti-Effie. There's a message that constantly comes in on a Friday. A particular texter who always says that we don't like the Effie, we are anti-Effie, and Chris is anti-Effie, and we allow him to bash the Effie, and all that hogwash. Because it is nonsense, really. What the person is texting is absolute nonsense. Listen, when you are the fourth estate of the realm, you hold the leaders' feet to the fire of accountability and tell them that you are not doing your work well. Do it well. Look at where we are as a country. Look at the state of our pitches. Look at the state of our national teams. Look at the state of football we play in this country. Look at what other countries are doing. And like I said, I'm happy that it is the deputy sports minister who has finally woken up to the reality.
Yeah, he has seen the light.
That what we are doing here, jokes. I watched a TV series, a maiden that had a confrontation with her boyfriend. She said, "You are joking jokes."
Imagine.
You understand? So I'm happy that the deputy sports minister has seen it.
Did you see the expression on his face while he spoke?
You could tell.
I thought also.
Yes,
Evidence was overwhelming.
Say that now. We are
No, it
not
was
ready.
overwhelming. I thought also. Like you couldn't even speak.
The Moroccans have shown him something small, and he has.
This man is a very honest man. He spoke to somebody sometime when the chant team went to the look, and the sort of revelation he said, I cannot say it here. Look, but he's a very. I'm not surprised he's speaking like this. He's a very honest man.
So somebody will ask, what has that got to do with? What has that got to do with anything? It has to do with everything. Because I cannot understand why the handlers of our game, I'm sure they know I'm sure they are trying, but the point is that, Charlie, there's a lot more work to do.
Nathan, they are more conversant with the reality than you and I.
Yes, and they know.
No, they are selfish people. See, because the people in Morocco, the Moroccan FA, go and see what their World Cup money
is doing for them.
And
they are not sharing 100,000
and even
per
they,
management members.
and even they, when they don't perform, they resign.
They resign.
You see,
They are not sharing 100,000 per management member.
look, in other countries where their football is at the top level, they are hoping to take it out of this world into another galaxy.
Into another realm.
To be the pace setter for the next level.
So we need to do better. So I expect the people running the FA, as I bring it home, to understand that if in the cycle of things there is an election to be held, get that election done.
Exactly.
Get it done. You see, because the continuity, remember, the life of Ghana football hangs on this election, because this election breaks a cycle, starts a new one, and because football in this country, the way we run it, it can't exist without the GFA. Football cannot exist without any football association anyway. So I really, really expect the GFA to be up and doing. If there's an election, gather everything together. If there are papers to be signed, get those papers signed. If there's a period for campaign, open the campaign doors. Let people campaign. And do not be afraid of the people's verdict. You see, because if you want to alter what the people want, you see, it comes back to bite you horribly. You can suppress the will of the people at a point, but you can't do it all the time. So the people running you see, me and all of us in this parish, and everybody who listens to me will know that I always like to keep it fair. So maybe for argument's sake, the FA is not trying to shut anybody down. or the FA is not trying to gag anybody, or they are not trying to do anything clandestine. If that is the case, they should let the process flow. Today is the last working day of June.
Yep.
October is not far
If we
away.
intend to have an election, we
By
should
this
know.
time, we should have been almost ready.
Yep.
Then we go and vote.
We go and vet even. I mean,
Yes,
You can
vet,
ask him.
all those things,
The-
and then we
you see,
move.
When the man had the opportunity, no more
he was asked
to
directly.
speak on the matter.
He said he's not sure if there'll be an election.
If any Juliet, you my Jolly.
Oh, Charlie.
This is something.
Julie Jew.
Yesterday was Julie Jew's
Oh,
birthday.
Julie Jew.
Belated birthday, young lady.
Lady Ballo.
Jew.
Oh,
Lady
Jules.
Ballo, eh?
Oh,
Jew.
Jules.
No my job, wherever she is.
Yeah.
It was a direct question.
Yeah.
And for you to have the president of the FA saying he does not know whether
See, anyway,
there'll be an
so
election.
as I conclude, I hope that
Meaningful.
in the coming days, we'll get better clarity from the Ghana FA. Because the election, not only does it concern them, because in any case, they are the people who go and vote, but it affects all of us because football is the game we love. Football is the reason why sometimes my wife leaves me and goes to sleep because I'm there watching Black Meteors,
Thank you.
Black Stars, and then won't you sleep as I'm writing stories? Won't you sleep? I'm sending stories to Ben. Won't you sleep? I'm looking for
Meanwhile,
pictures. Meanwhile, the people running the look at some of this. Eh?
Want to send a signed document
So,
to
please.
FIFA so that they accept that
For
the
what?
election should be for what?
For what?
What is all this?
Look, if all these
You have
it's
overachieved.
unfair. The people at the FA, my very good friends, there, please, if there's an election to run, do that election. Because you see, the life, like I said, the life of your association and football in this country hangs on that election. We need that election to happen. For me, I'm not too concerned about who wins, who loses. Me, it's Ghana football I'm concerned
That is
about.
the fundamental reason we are all here. No more.
You know, so if there's an election, let's get everything going.
Yeah.
And anyway, as for the filing fees, me, I have nothing to say. My concern is that if there's a process, let us kickstart that process
I'm
and
filing
move.
feel like 100 million. What about pay? What about pay now for Shiki?
are you contesting? the
I'm
election?
telling you, if they like, they should take it from 50,000 to 100,000 to 150,000. 100,000.
Even those who want to contest
we
will
will
contest.
pay this man. He
says we.
contesting. Contest
Coach is contesting the election.